matters to do with sports, but we know there are some other social issues that do affect them. Now we're going to have the FEI Combat Fest 2024. And with that, different 7 federations, to be specific, have said this will be a big reality, and they're hopeful, optimistic that they will also have a very colorful event.
I'm grateful for this festival that has brought us together as the martial arts athletes, where we're going to compete, and I am thankful that we have a chance to create awareness about martial arts. One advantage of martial art is that when you get to the training, many people fear that it is defensive and you're going to get hurt. But when you get a coach, you're taught control and reflex. So when you know control and reflex, if it is the sport part of the art, you're able to compete fairly and equally. And if it is on the street and it's an attack, you're able to defend yourself well, that you're not hurt or you don't get to murder anyone for further cases, but you're able to defend yourself and get home safe.
It really helps improve your courage, your fitness. You can be able to face anything as a martial artist. You learn to be disciplined. You can't be intimidated by someone. You are very capable. You can tell yourself, like, I can do this. You can walk yourself through the night knowing you can fight. When someone attacks you, you will not only scream, but you will do something for yourself. I think that's the best thing that I think ladies should invest in.
The FEI Combat Fest is basically a function that is meant to bring more women into the platform of martial arts, at the same time to sort the challenges that female martial arts athletes go through in all the federations. So the major reason for holding the FEI Combat Fest is also to teach the society that martial arts is also a sport for women. And for them, when ladies practice martial arts, it does not mean that they want to be hooligans, but they are supposed to reap the benefits that martial arts has to offer, especially self-defense in this week where the rise of femicide and gender-based violence and IPV is on the rise. So the challenges that we encounter as women, we are the most vulnerable people of the society. So a lot of people tend to look down upon women. A lot of people tend to see women as their next prey. And by a lot of people, I mean people involved in criminal activities. We have rape cases. We have intimate partnership violence. We also have things like prostitution. So our major aim is to teach women and to create awareness so that ladies and girls can reap the benefits that martial arts and self-defense offers.
So the significance of today's event is putting out FEI Combat to the world and ensuring that we have actually opened up the registration portal, especially to the athletes and federations that would like to register. We are also marking a very monumental day where we are now getting into a more inclusive environment where women are now able to participate in martial arts wholesomely, confidently, and we want them to show up in numbers because we want to empower them as women in martial arts. So we have 7 federations that we have partnered with who have grassroots federations.
So when we think about Ladies Affair, we will be able to have conversations about what exactly will be on the cards in this year's edition of the Femme Fest. And it's all about the ladies, and they're doing a number of some positives when we think about the world of sports. Now we have this conversation, and I'm joined by Daktari Catherine Kibuchi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you, Moses, for having me on the show.
I know we're talking about martial arts and the impact that martial arts has when we utilize it. I know the last month or so, the country has had a lot of conversation about femicide, about what exactly the ladies go through. In your own assessment, why this kind of next of Ganza? Why are we doing this, and for what benefit?
Yeah, so FEI Combat Fest is a monumental festival where we are inspiring inclusion in line with today's International Women's Day theme, which is inspiring inclusion, ensuring that we are having and giving women in martial arts a platform to participate and a platform to be noticed and to be included, and owning their own festival and owning their own competition, which is quite important. Apart from that, we have a lot of joint trainings or workshops that are lined up to ensure that we are taking care of these women athletes as a whole. And that is going to include self-defense. That is also going to include financial inclusion, capacity building for them. That is also going to include mental wellness checks, as well as understanding how to navigate as a martial artist and a mother during Mother's Day. So we are looking at the female athlete as a whole and ensuring that by the time we are done with this festival, they come out better, they come out more empowered, more included, more confident, and now releasing them to the world to also teach other women how to defend themselves, especially around the femicide issue that we are currently facing in Kenya right now.
And not just in sports, actually. Women do go through a number of challenges, and you can always relate that to what exactly is happening in the field of sports, but also out the cycles of sports. How well then do you say you've been able to cultivate and carve something that might be able to address those issues during this extravaganza? Yeah,
so we are aligning Femme Combat Fest with SDGs, and we are looking at different SDGs, around 7 of them. So one is gender equality, which not only affects women in sports, even in the workplace, to be very honest. I mean, there are women in their workplaces who are not included in leadership roles. We are also looking at climate change in terms of ensuring that women are more involved in this conversation and understanding why they need to practice several things to make sure they're taking care of the environment as well. We're also looking at mental health and wellness, which is also an SDG, because it's not only women in sports that go through mental health issues. All women, and they need to be able to speak about it more boldly, more confidently, and have people by their side who are going to support them, whatever they are doing and wherever they don't feel very included. And also, we are talking about period shame, ending period poverty. It's something that has been talked about, but we can never talk about it enough. So we want to bring this to the forefront, also for women in sports and also for other women who are not in sports. It's something that we need to address. It's something that we are not supposed to be embarrassed about. And now, of course, I mean, the elephant in the room, I always say, femicide is something that we want to reach out, and we are calling upon different partners, NGOs, corporates, to reach out to us so that we can be able to cascade our information, cascade our skill, cascade everything that we have acquired through our martial arts training to be able to help women out there to defend themselves, not only on the bigger scale, but even small attacks in the dark alleys as they're walking in town, mugging. These are some things that we can actually help them prevent, help them become more confident, speaking up and be able to defend themselves.
I know we could always do this using different formats and also different forums. Why did we decide to utilize sports and martial arts to be specific, to be able to carry on this agenda?
Agenda of femicide?
The agenda of bringing women together and having them on that platform to be able to discuss all these issues that will be discussed.
So as we say, charity begins at home. So me and my co-founder are both in martial arts, and we have been athletes. I am a retired athlete. My partner is an active athlete. And these are experiences that we have actually gone through. So charity begins at home. We wanted to start with martial arts because that is a sport that we understand, that is the sport that we know and we have been involved in. And later, we want to expand to different sports where we bring women together and empower them in sports. And I think even with the Gender Commission that we currently have in NOC, they're actually driving this particular agenda to ensure that women are actually being included in leadership roles, women are being listened to, not only in martial arts. So for us, the reason why we used martial arts is because, as well, charity begins at home. This is a sport this is a skill and a sport that we have harnessed over the years. We have been there, we understand what challenges these women are facing, and we understand the need for them to actually go out there, be heard, be understood, because there's a lot of stereotyping when it comes to martial arts. People think it's a violent sport, it's meant for men, and it's basically a male-dominated sport. But there are a lot of women that are actually practicing and participating in martial arts, and that is what we wanted to bring out in this festival, Femme Combat Fest 2024.
In the Femme Combat Fest, I know we'll have different participants. In your own assessment, how well or what will be the best value that maybe a participant will be able to get or gather when they come and take part? And at the same time, what exactly are we looking at during this festival?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, advantages for participants to register. And one of them is being able to be part of our workshops and our webinars, which will be able to build and capacity build them as women, 1. 2, they will be able to participate in an international or first ever female martial arts festival in the region, which is a very prestigious event for them. The other thing that they'll be able to acquire is during the competitions, we are looking at awarding different prizes. It can be from technology devices to cash awards. That's what we are looking forward to actually achieving, and ensuring that they have a fair ground of participation and feeling very inclusive in this particular sport. Yes.
So what's the plan? I know we have the launch. From the launch, where are we going? And do we have a competition that maybe will be able to be the epitome and the highlight of everything? So take me down through it.
All right, so we did have the media launch, which is basically opening up the registration portal, where we are inviting all martial arts, female martial artists to register. After registration, we are going to have a joint training, which is going to be the 11th of April. And the joint training is basically going to cover gender equality and inclusion for our women in martial arts. And then after that, we are going to have another joint training in May, which is going to cover ending period poverty. And then we are going to have another one in June, which is going to be highlighting about Mother's Day and inclusion of women in sports and them being mothers. Because most of them, we have come to realize when they become mothers, they drop off from martial arts. Yeah. So we want to capacity build them to know how do they balance their life, their sport, and their work. Yeah. So how do they create that harmony of being mothers and also being able to participate and be athletes and be included in this particular sport.
So it's not a one-day affair?
No, it's not a one-day affair. And then after that, our highlight is the tournament, which is going to be taking place from the 19th to the 21st of July, where now we bring in the martial artists, the federations, and we're going to have a competition in all the 7 martial arts federations that we have actually partnered with. And so that is going to be the highlight of our festival.
Maybe speak to a young lady out there who maybe today they don't even understand what it means as wishing ladies happy International Women's Day, and again, happy International Women's Day. Speak to that young lady out there, not just a young, maybe a parent that maybe will say, no, sports is a no-go zone to my daughter. Speak to them, and also to this parent that maybe will have a reason to tell the daughter, keep away from sports, but there is something positive that you can be able to acquire from it.
Yeah, so where should I look? Is this? There's a camera? Okay, fine. So happy International Women's Day to all the ladies out there. And sports is a very important aspect of our women and girls' lives. One, it instigates discipline, it instigates wellness that is physical, mental, and it's an important, it makes you an all-rounded human being. And to parents out there who are still wondering, should I let my child go into martial arts or any form of sport, please release your children to understand and experience the beauty of sport and being a well-rounded human being, because what sports does to you is inculcating discipline. It is also helping you to grow mentally and physically in your wellness journey. So as we inspire inclusion, which is which is basically the theme of 2024 International Women's Day, I would like us to include all women. And sports does not have an age, especially martial arts. You can start as young as 3 years old and you can go up to when you die. So feel free to reach out to us. Come in, we are here to train you, we are here to appreciate you, and we are here to welcome you to the martial arts family, and it does not have an age, so don't be scared. Some people started martial arts when in their 30s, others in their 40s, and they're doing very well. So yeah, so that's right about it.
Yeah, so you're wearing a gi, a black belt, you have it on that matter. I don't know, how well do you throw punches, or you are an organizer and you have people who... I'm putting you on the spot. I'm just tempted to tell you to do a small demonstration, maybe even if it's just throwing a punch. Should I ask? I have a colleague of mine there who's a lady. Maybe I don't know if I should ask her to join you and you do a small demonstration for us.
So I would do a small demo. I was not prepared, but I think I will show women, especially, which is the most used, especially in self-defense, which is in self-defense, you need to block. So I will show blocks. So I'll show you how to block. And blocking is pretty simple because most attacks come with a knife, somebody comes with a blunt object and they're trying to hit you. So I'll just show how to block.
Yeah, show us how to block. So how to block. So you're blocking this.
So I'm blocking. So basically blocking is where we move our limbs up and down, aware of our situation. So you have a look at your opponent straight to the eye. Do not look sideways or don't look where your hand is going. So basically we just move up and then we move down. So we move up like that. So we exchange, that is the basic move, and then now we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. So we're just blocking.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
One day I think we will have a very, very fine lesson, and they will be able to do proper demonstrations in what exactly ladies can be able to do when we think about defense and how well martial arts plays a very, very critical role to be able to assist our women in the society. Dr. Catherine Kibuchi, asante sana for joining us. And yes, it's all about the Femme Combat Fest 2024. And